Good morning and welcome back. So another market update. Let's have a look how things happened since Saturday's video, because I just deleted some of the things, and this is what the Saturday's morning video looked like. It did rejected this order block at first, but it didn't really pull away. It collected some liquidity from here, from we can see that was on Saturday afternoon, so it's most likely came after this one as well. So we're gonna look on this liquidity too, so we know exactly what's happened. So I'm gonna look on CoinGlass while I'm building the charts. So and then we're gonna start identifying where the market's gonna lead us, where they can take us, and what is actually happening. So just quickly housekeeping on the not needed areas here, but look how the weekend happened. So okay, let's diving into as usually I go for a weekly to see what is happening on a weekly. We have created a higher low here, okay, on a weekly, but the volume is losing the momentum now. That's on a weekly, because a weekly candle closes as a doji-ish type of candle. It's also rejecting 20 EMA, but overall we're still on a downtrend. So daily, so what we're looking on a daily, so we can see that it's still bouncing house of 50 EMA, but it really needs to get some volume in to push above all these levels. First it needs to break this, and then it definitely needs to break that for us to go up higher, because there's this fair value gap where the most resistance is happening. So because if you're looking on this fair value gap, so this has been taken, so so let's say it's came back and it's just been pulled away. So we definitely need to see some volume coming in, and to help us understand where all of this is gonna go. This is just a liquidity maps for me, so all the tools are prepared and what I'm using. So what do we see here? There's not a strong bounce on a daily, okay, because it's pushed up on a weekend. Yes, on Sunday we can see it's bounced off, pushed up. It all depends how the smaller time frames is going to tell us what's happening there. So okay, small time frames, 4 hours. This was the order block in the midweek on Friday. We talked about that, made some notes. So what is happening here? So it's also created higher low. It came back off this order block, which was on Friday. On Friday we talked about some of the ideas on here. So I said it needs to pull back up to here. So it did pull back, but it didn't reject. So it's actually pushed much higher. So, but we can see how on the weekend there was massive manipulations here, so liquidations here. This candle, people just went long here, and then just they got all stopped out and liquidated. So currently, it's created a lower high. So if this starts pulling back down, we can expect to lower prices. That's what I'm building. So there is not much for me to do on 4 hours, because we still have the same order blocks above and below. It's keeping this range since it's been since 29th of April, so it's been over a week, 2 weeks holding this range, even longer. So look, this range actually came back in here. So this is the last high. It's came back, well, it's created lower low here. So but generally it's keeping the same range. So we'll have to see better directions where it's gonna go. So on hours, so this is where we can start building and understanding what's gonna happen. So we talked on Friday about this W here, and that's gonna be on 15 minutes time frame. We're gonna see that. Since then we have new trap traders here. Okay, so this is an area I mark. Trap traders. This came back into this fair value gap. They collected all the liquidity from here, people who went long on here. So they collected this and issued the price up. So then again, since that was on Saturday, yes, Saturday afternoon. So they pushed the price up, liquidated, came back again, liquidated the people who went short there, liquidated them, now came back again. So this is like complete manipulation. So and it's rejected this fair value gap here, so I would expect it to go higher, but it doesn't always reach the targets what you expect, because remember, the markets are probabilities. That's not always going to happen the way you expect. We can only chart things and plan things out, but we have to remember that everything is into probabilities. We can't predict the market, so that's one of the biggest challenges for me. Was like, I'm always trying to predict and force myself into completely different trades, and you know, I'm trying to always be correct and right, but you know, market doesn't work like that. And it's took me a long time actually to overcome these things, and I'm still overcoming so many things. And one of the things I'm recording these videos is just to keep myself accountable, to share my trade ideas, and also looking back on the videos, I can actually see where I made mistakes. So these videos generally, guys, are for me, so I can keep myself on the toes, and while sharing with you. Maybe some of you guys gonna learn something from this and have value on this as well. So on the 4 hours again, so same again, you know, it's created lower high, so a very strong rejection. EMAs, it's still about 255 on the 4 hours. I know that I jumped between 1 and 4, but I didn't put all the thought process behind on this. But so it's still bullish overall, because it's bouncing off a 255 EMA, so it's pulling up. So, but we really need to see what's going to happen. So this was pure manipulations, because it's happened on the weekend, and Asia, because Asia issued this short. Okay, can we bounce off somewhere? It's really difficult to say here, because there is like trap traders here. Okay, I marked the other zone as well, but this zone as well is important. So this is trap traders here, because they collected all the liquidity below here. We can see this, and it's a big below. It didn't go into here, so they might want to keep this. So the price might go up a little bit, come back, retest the trap traders, and go if they want to release these ones. But it's came back. It's created a higher low again, so it's, you know, low and higher low. So it's expecting maybe it's gonna go up. You know, so you see this fair value gap, it's been touched twice. It's came back here, it's came back here, so they also don't want too much going higher maybe. So it's again, we have to see how and where we have the liquidation levels. So I am looking on CoinGlass. There is other sites as well, but this is free. You can always log inside of this one and get the same liquidation levels for free, so you don't have to pay for HYROTRADER and a few other ones. It generally is the same thing. So it shows 23.12 in the last 12 hours. 23.12 is another next closest liquidation. So 23.12, you see that's here, because people got liquidated here. Now they went long on here again. So on this wick people went long again. So maybe actually before, yeah, you see that was after the liquidation here. So they just, after that liquidation, they went long. There was other people here. You see these went long after this candle. So if we're looking on here, so they went actually long on this candle, and this liquidated them. Okay, we can clearly see here on this map, you see it's came back, and this yellow line was the largest liquidations. They got liquidated. They still left the liquidation levels below here. So, and we just have to see if they want to pick them up, or they want to keep them in. If you're looking on 48 hours, and we have more liquidations below the first 2307. So 2307, that is going to be just below this wick. So okay, that's just below this wick. That's because they already collected some, they left a little bit leftovers there. We can see the bright yellow line, so 2307 for 501. So what do we have above? Liquidations actually work pretty easy. If you start reading the charts, you can actually identify more and more much easier, because there's some liquidation levels here at 23.97, but it's not massive. So people didn't actually went short. They might got liquidated when they went short on here, because there's left lots of liquidity here. So they went on short. This collected all of the liquidity, and that's why people being stopped out. And it's also happened in Asia. So many people who were in US and they might went to bed already or so. So it's difficult to say, but there's a small liquidation levels above here. So not too much. Let's start building the rest of the trade ideas. An hour longs, you know, it's been holding the 50 EMA, so it's still below. So, but like I said, it's been, you know, currently that's untradeable. 15 minutes is pretty bearish. Yeah, liquidation levels happen. There's drop traders, you know, it's bounced off of this one, but it hasn't been pulling away. So I would expect this to come back maybe into this order block. So I made a mistake there. So because there's I've seen some of the alts doing pretty well on a weekend, but the same again, they got the same manipulations there as well. So I didn't do anything on Sunday, but so that's why I'm coming back to see where the market's going to lead us. So if it comes back and rejects this order block, I would expect it's going to come down and collect all of these liquidation levels, maybe retest this drop trader zone on 1 hour, and then we're gonna have to see what's happening. So I would expect it to go higher. It's currently at 10 EMA, because that's 10, that's 20, that's 50. 50 bounce of 50 would be really great, because then it's going to be high, lower, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then, you know, just keep coming down. But for that to happen, we need to bounce off any of these. If it starts bouncing off here, then it might be just they might have enough, and it's just going to start coming down. So as we saw on an hour and 4, you know, it's you know, there's nothing really to see at the moment. If you didn't take the short from here, then there is no trade opportunities for me at the moment. So I have to see what the market does, comes back below, bounces off, and creates another lower high, and then, you know, I can take an entry for short to lower time frames, because we have this order block on an hour. So this was also the drop trader zone, what we talked on Friday, because that's where the W happened. Drop traders, and we can see on an hour as well. So this is the W on 15 minutes. So it's pushed away, and it's went back into the fair value gap in there. So it would be nice if you followed some ideas like this. It would be a great trade. If you are swing trading, you could exit before there, but I am generally day trader, so looking only at day trades. So that's why I need to build the ideas. There's not much I can say on ETH, because I need to see some change. UK is going to start in a few hours. UK is going to start at here. It's 10:30. We may be going to see that, but at the moment there's not much for me to say on ETH. Looking at all this, I expect lower time frames, lower prices. It needs to create like a good rejection or start becoming really bearish, because you see it's at 10. Rejecting 10 on lower time frames is like low value. Rejecting 10 on 1 hour, it's much better, because on the high time frames it's going to be like 50 EMA rejection, because if you get up there, create a inverse hammer, and the next bearish candle, like bearish engulfing, and then we can expect, you know, okay, that's it, they want to reverse the price down, so they don't want to go higher. So that's my first idea on this. So Bitcoin, let's have a look on Bitcoin again. So I quickly remove what has been collected. They're all data. It's didn't, well, it bounce of this again, so but it didn't pull the way as expected. Same again, you can see how the charts are all the same in manipulations. Okay, induced people, liquidated people, and now they might do something. So quickly let's have a look on a weekly. So weekly we are still above 255 again, so we are close to 50 EMA rejection. So let's see how the candles, you know, this was pretty bullish candle, so but in that one there was a manipulations here, so we are topping out pretty soon, I would say, because you know, any moves like these we have to expect it's going to top out somewhere, it's going to come back, it's going to retest, and when it does that, then all we have to do is like, okay, where is going to be retesting? Okay, everything that goes up, it needs to come back for collecting the liquidity for the next leg up. So we can clearly see that, you know, we broke the, you know, if you're looking on a daily now, so we have, you know, W here, okay, W there, so I just deleted the arrows. So okay, it's W here, it's kept push up, it's pushed up higher, and it's since then it was like, okay, it's came back here, it's came back lower here, so but it still stayed above all of these levels, and it's created high low, and it's pushed away. So you know, it's broke this trend line, the neckline, sorry, it broke the neckline. Now where we can expect it to reverse for the next leg down, to create another higher low and then go up. So my expectations is maybe it's going to reach this order block, okay, but there is also this, yeah, that's the order block, is probably going to be the closest one. There is some supply zone here, okay, that's also at 255, and that's on a daily. So if it starts changing around here and then becomes a bearish engulfing candle here, I would expect maybe this is going to be start of the change, because you know, it's wicked up. This candle created a lower high, okay. If it stays bearish, it closes below this low here, then we can maybe start expecting, okay, so the price comes back down. Once that happens, then we're gonna have to assess and see, okay, how far it's gonna go, okay. Because it can go all the way back anywhere into this zone, okay, it's still going to create higher low above this, and then since from then it's going to go up higher. So but until that starts happening, we just follow the trend. So 4 hours, okay, so this is where I was talking about, it's created the low high. So, and if you're looking on 4 hours, it's created high and it's created low, okay. So I deleted that again too soon, okay. So but for us to change it, for us to confirm the change of the trend now, the 4 hours needs to break below this neckline, okay. Once it breaks below and retests, that's where we can expect, okay, so this is going to be the trend down, what I was talking about in an hour, and then we're going to have to find the levels where the 4 hour gonna stop and change the trend again. So because all of this is trend up, now we need to change the character, and it's just gonna be coming back down. Okay, this is gonna end up here as we have to assess that, and then okay, that's where we start looking for the longs again. So and then just follow the same, up down up down up down. So currently trend is still up, so we need to look for the longs. Unless this is going to change, because you know, this is valid information, but to be completely confirmed valid, it needs to break below this level and retest this level. So the first thing is needs to break below 50 EMA and hold it below 50 EMA. Can it get it done? Can it start getting it done? Absolutely yes, because remember, on a daily we had massive run, okay, and it was running since, you know, if you're looking from here, that's on February 24th, that's when it starts the run. And you know, it's run up, it's came back down, you know, it's collected more liquidity. We said, okay, we don't need to go all over here, and we just push up. So, but everything that goes up needs to go down. Same is vice versa. Everything that goes down needs to go up. So let's quickly finish my charting. Okay, same on this. So and I'll have a look on Bitcoin as well. So 4 hours, it is bearish, but for us to confirm that, this next candles can break higher than 50% of this candle. Okay, I wouldn't want that. If it goes higher, then I would expect it's gonna eat all of this and it's gonna go higher. So, but until then, we just wait and see. So there's not much I can do on 4 hours and 1 hour. So all of these liquidations are below prices that were not collected before, so they were the markings I added. So drop traders, okay, if you're looking on drop traders, it's came back, you know, it's rejected with the hammer below that. It means they want to keep these traders trapped, they don't want to release them. On the 4 hour I said, you know, 50% on all this move, so this is where the supply zone is. On 1 hour, so that's where I would expect the rejection as well. It comes back up, rejects anywhere into this zone, and then starts coming back down, and it does like this. Okay, it comes back, goes down, breaks below these levels because these are drop trader zones. Same as, you know, this pattern is the same as ETH. Okay, so a little bit different levels, but you know, it's more or less the same. So for us to confirm that as well, so it can break above this one, comes back down, closes below 255, the EMA also, it starts coming, you know, like this. It starts coming like this, and then, you know, the price breaks below, comes back, retests, and it just goes down. So that's what I would expect if they want to get the prices down, and then we just follow the trend down. They're gonna come and collect all these liquidity levels, and then we're just gonna have to see, okay, where, you know, where it's gonna stop, where we can start looking for the next leg up, because you know, that's how markets work. And so what do we see? These are drop traders again. Supply zone is marked, the trade idea is built. I would assess shorts close to this level. You know, that's what I'm gonna do. Longs, yeah, it's difficult for me to take any longs on currently. I would longs, we're gonna go on smaller time frames, 15 minutes, see what any day trades I can take on longs. So these are also a drop traders on 1 hour and 15 minutes. So 15 minutes, same again. So I'll just quickly put this one for an hour. Okay. So, and I don't want to see this as well on here. So okay, so 15 minutes. The drop traders are here. Okay, so the same on 15 minutes. It came back. It didn't break in, so which is great, but bounced off. Technically, if you are in Asia, you could take this as a long. On 5 minutes, you could take this as a safe entry, but the first target is, you know, this supply zone here. So 15 minutes, that's a supply zone for me. That is the first target where I need to see how the price reacts. It's also 50, 20 EMAs, all the EMAs will be in the same zone. If it bounces off, like we talked about on higher time frames, that's, I would expect, you know, anywhere because this is the supply zone on 4 hours, on an hour. Okay, so this is the zone. I would expect maybe it breaks up here. If it breaks above here, I would assess this zone. Okay, because there is an order block here on 15 minutes. Okay, order block. I would expect anywhere here or there rejection. If it breaks through them, great, we're gonna go up higher. Then we most likely gonna come and retest for this 1 hour drop traders. Do I have a long entry? Only long entry I would be looking is like this. It comes back, retests, creates another higher low at the EMAs. Okay, so we can see 255 EMA. That's what I would be doing. So it's like this. Okay, that's what I'll be doing. So I'll be looking how it comes back, retests, bounce off, creates another high low, and then go. So then that means that they don't want to release these traders. They have enough liquidity collected already, and then they just want to, you know, push up higher. So until then, until there is a market structure really that shows me what's going to happen, what they're going to do, it's really difficult for me to say. So but let's have a look on the next, what we have on the list. So we have Avalanche on the list. I didn't add the liquidity, guys, but so let's liquidity. So we have 83,037, 83,037. Okay, it's 38. Yeah, but look, you know, same again. There's already liquidity here from this. They came back, didn't want to release, people went short, so there's lots of liquidity above now. Okay, and there is 8256, 8256, and these going to be the late longs. 8256. 8256. Okay, so same again as we talked. You know, when you think about liquidity levels, liquidation levels, you don't really need them up. So anything, you know, for from the last weeks, because there's going to be still liquidity below here. Okay, because people who went long on this, they're going to have some, you know, 10x or smaller leverage. They're going to have some liquidation levels here. All you do is like, okay, so any peaks, any highs, you know, there was liquidation levels here, there's liquidation levels here, there's liquidation levels here. So if you going into, if you have like paid subscriptions into High Block or others, they're all gonna give you more detailed ones, more history data ones, because this is like free. So they're taking only, so how many times there, you know, weeks there. So not a week. You just have to see the time, 10th of May. So they only give you 1 day. So they're the ones they're going to give you more, but this is why I kept all the liquidation levels here, because they're not being collected. Some of these people already closed the trades, but generally I would expect they're still going to be there, because, you know, we all expect a bull run and so on. So, you know, there is a nice rally on this one, and some altcoins doing pretty well. There is this hope coming in for people, and, you know, maybe finally the bull run is here. So but so far, yes, so these are the liquidation levels, what I expect. Supply zone, and that's, you know, that's what I'm expecting. I don't do anything until it's going to be reaching here, then I'll assess if it comes back, retest. There's no areas really I can see where it can come retest. I just have to see what's going to happen. So also on the Bitcoin chart, I also look on the news event. So what we have Tuesday CPI. Okay, so there's Tuesday CPI at 3:30. So, and then I just put this Tuesday 3:30. So I know what it is. CPI. What else we have? We have Wednesday core PPI. Okay, and Wednesday 3:30 PPI. Okay, so these both are market movers. Gold retails are not really market movers, but I add them up anyway. So that's Thursday 3:30 as well. And so these are important ones. The CPI and PPI is important, so you can expect different price actions on this week. So okay, next one is Avalanche. Deep dive into Avalanche on a weekly. What has happened on here? Okay, Avalanche is still in the same range. We talked about that on Friday and Saturday. It's still in the range, but you know, we had a nice push and it's creating, you know, higher highs. You know, it's like going up, high lows, and you know, but it needs to really break above this one. So the inside bar on this weekly candle is good. On daily, you know, we're turning bullish. You know, this is what we talked about as well. So you know, there is some EMAs spanning up. So we're definitely turning into bullish, but nothing is confirmed until we actually breaking up. So because some other coins already, you know, did massive runs. I'll have a look quickly on that. So 4 hours, 4 hours, and see where we have. So it's came back into this order block. There's also a resistance level, this line, but it's very strong above 10 and 20 EMAs as long as it's pushing up. So this looks really well. So bullish, and this was what I did on Friday. You know, and this was Friday, Thursday, Friday move was here. Yes, so you know, it did quite well. It's also, you can see 255 EMAs is below the price. So you know, I expect this starts escalating into a nice run. Same again, we have to see it needs to break above this, and then trying to see how far it's going to go. You know, we all want all these coins to go to the moon, but they're all going to peak out somewhere. So there's an area of here of interest. This a fair value gap. It would be one of the first areas, and this order block here. So that would be my areas of interest on first order blocks. So okay, so smaller time frames, let's have a look. This order block is there, so you know, I would expect, I'm just going to quickly tweak that to order block 1 hour, because that's going to give me precise price action. So it's, you see it's came back and it's retested. Currently still above 50. Looking on Avalanche, actually this was a great entry for long. That's in Asia. I'm sleeping in Asia. So, well, still Asia is going, but yeah. So this is another order block here. So what is the price doing? Price came back, liquidated the longs from the weekend. It came back into this entry from Sunday. It didn't break below. Okay, it's created a trapped trader zone here. Okay, it came back, retested, double hammers, you know, there's one, there's second. So now bullish. It's also above 50. I would expect definitely going up. On an hour, there's a 15 minutes order block here. So if it goes and creates a lower high, okay, in this area, I would expect probably it's going to reverse. Overall, it's very bullish. But we have to see what is happening. So it's still below 10 and 20, but you know, it's above 50. If this closes really bullish, then I would expect higher prices. Okay, so you know, this 15 minutes actually retested 255, which is bullish. Okay, looking at it on a 1 hour, it's the same again. It came back into trap trader zone. It's above EMAs. Now it needs to break above the 50 EMA, retest the 50 EMA, and then it's going to go higher. Because if you're looking at small time frames, high, low, lower high, and this is actually higher low. So it needs to break above this zone for us to go much higher. Okay, that's my ideas. Okay, same again on liquidation levels. We just go back and change the ticker and see what is happening. So we have 10635, 10635. Yep, it's there. Okay, it's above, and we have closest one 10446. 10446 is going to be here somewhere. Yep, it's there. Then we have in the middle 10221. 10221. It's going to be 221. So people went short on here. You see, that's how generally we all fall for these things. The issue, the slow trend is the real trend. The issue, slow trend, the people going longs, and now the massive candles reversed, collect all the liquidity. You see, they just literally from Sunday afternoon, all the move up, they all got liquidated. Some people who went long and put some stop losses below here, that they are safe, but generally they all got liquidated. So same again. So people went short on this, now they got liquidated. Now they went short on this, and these candles can go and pick up all the liquidity here. So what else we have below? So we have 9825, 9825, and there is there. Yeah, somewhere there. The liquidation levels doesn't have to be completely precise, because if the price comes back close, it means they already collected. That just gives you the data. So anyway, let's build up what we can. Same again, it needs to break above 50. It needs to break above 50, retest the 50, then we're gonna go higher. If it rejects on smaller time frames, there's an order block here, and there's another order block here. So that's my first target. So this is the other one. So comes back, retests, goes back that below. Then if it rejects this area, then we have to see how it reacts here. If it goes through, then we want to go down. So looking on this, they don't want to go through, so they want to keep the price up higher. So okay, let's have a look quickly what else we have, because otherwise the video is going to be getting too long. This is going to be a quick review now, so I'm going to do my charting afterwards, and I'm going to do some live trading after uploading the video here. So I'm going to start seeing some live trading videos on UK sessions. So same again on HBAR. HBAR did nice run. It didn't liquidated too many people here, but some nice entries on HBAR. It did nice run. If looking on 15 minutes Sunday trades, this was on Saturday afternoon. Yes, that's when they rejected the 255 with the hammer. It's created a 100 high low and then just pulled away. So on yesterday Sunday morning, nice entries probably of these EMAs, because if you're looking on here, it's went created low, high, low, but higher low. So because it's higher than this, that means, okay, so most likely they want to go up here, and it did nice run. But if you're looking on HBAR, look, it did nice run, but it didn't manipulate the same way as the other ones. Okay, but it did create a low high. So, but there's higher low here again. So we need to really, if it's holding the levels, we really need to see how it's pushing up. So look, we're gonna quickly go through with a few others. Chain link, okay, same again. We look, all the charts have the same patterns. Okay, at the moment we have to see what they want to do. Looking on this, it looks bullish. Link is definitely bullish, more bullish than the others. XRP, same again. XRP, manipulations happen. We just have to see what they want to do. Look at this Dogecoin, liquidated everybody. You know, Dogecoin went, look, there was people, loads of stop losses, liquidation levels here. This came back, collected all of them. Same again, we just have to see how the thing's gonna go. So Aave is doing pretty well. Nice bullish trend. Sui did well. There's not much liquidation levels, not liquidation levels from the candles, so this was actually pretty well. Algorand hasn't, it did actually follow a little bit, but there was no pump before. It was just going downtrend from Saturday. Yes, from Saturday it was just going slow trend down. It's holding this level. As long as it holds and it can start breaking up, will be absolutely fine. But EMAs are facing down, so Algorand, if it come back, retest 50, if there's a rejection with the hammer or something, then we're most likely going to go down. Otherwise it's still above 255. ICP, slow bleed down. Okay, not following the same manipulations as other charts. Interesting. Solana, same. So they did pump. There was weekend, no trades as well, manipulations again. So Solana looks bullish as well. Pretty bullish. Okay, I don't think BNB, so I don't think I'm gonna keep going. So otherwise it's gonna take too long. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. So I'll be back with another video later for live trading. So also, if you're interested to trade crypto, there is a BITGET rebate, 20% on all your trading fees. So the link is in description. So let's catch up. Ciao ciao.